Hi there. We have had a problem with the sliding door on our Sprinter van. This is a 2018 Sprinter cargo van. It's a 170 wheelbase. The problem we've had is it won't open, even when the door is unlocked. This started out where at first it started to feel a little weird and we thought something's not right, but the door would open. But it progressed to the point where it just would not open at all. And we discovered that if we push right here, like that, while the other person is pulling here, it would open. In fact, I was able to do it all by myself like this for quite a while. But it got to the point where even that wouldn't do it. So we thought it was something to do with this latching mechanism here. But we figured out it's not. However, if you're just building a van, even though that's not where the problem is, I would still recommend, if you're doing a kitchen countertop like this, make this part removable, easy to remove, because there's an access panel on the inside part of the door that you can't get to with this thing in the way. Luckily, that's not the problem we had. So come on inside and I'll show you how I fix this. But real quick, first I want to introduce the sponsor of today's video, Epic Water Filters. Epic is a company out of Boulder, Colorado, and they are on a mission to reduce single-use plastic waste. They make a number of water filtration products. One of our favorites is this one that fits inside a Nalgene water bottle. The cool thing about this is pretty much anywhere you find a fresh water source, like a lake or a river or a stream, you can have all the safe drinking water you could want. But don't take my word for it. Check them out. We put a link in the description below. Use coupon code TSLTD20 and you can get 20% off your first order. So, unfortunately for us, we've had this thing in the shop several times. We've spent a lot of money on getting this door fixed. And the funny thing is, the second to the last time we had it in, they didn't have the part in. They didn't have the cable. So the mechanic kind of MacGyvered this thing for us. And it was working great. Then about a month later, they called us back. They said the part had come in, and so we went in, and luckily they didn't charge us this time, but they installed the cable correctly, and off we went. And the first thing I noticed is that door handle just kind of felt weird again, just like before we had the problem. And sure enough, barely 3 months later, same problem again, the door would not open, even when we're pushing on it. It just completely failed. The way to fix it is right back inside here. So let me remove this panel real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I at first thought the problem was this sheep's wool insulation that we've stuffed inside our door, because we have a lot of it down there inside the big access panel. It doesn't have anything to do with that. There is a cable that runs up the back side of the door here, and there's a little bracket that holds it, and then an actuator mechanism above that the cable actually pulls on. The problem is the cable gets stretched. And when the cable is stretched, it doesn't pull the actuator mechanism far enough for it to unlatch. So I'm not sure what pushing in on the outside of the door did, but somehow that helped us to be able to open it temporarily until the cable got stretched too badly. The way that mechanic MacGyvered this thing for us, he took the end of that cable out of the bracket that holds it and pulled it down a little bit just to give it that little bit more distance so that when it pulls the cable, it was able to do it. So come on in here tight and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So back inside here, you can barely get in here with your fingers, but you can see this is the end of the cable with this plastic attachment on it that has these kind of two disc shaped things. And you can also see the metal bracket that those two discs fit into. They actually fit one disc above and one below when this thing is installed correctly. And then of course you can see the end of the cable here going up to the mechanism that it pulls on. If you actually pull the cable out from where it belongs and put it in there like you see here, where it's actually farther away that direction from the latch mechanism, that should take up some of the slack in your stretched cable, and you should be able to open your door. So ours has been sitting just like this. It's not engaged correctly into this metal bracket that's supposed to hold it. It's actually underneath where it's supposed to be. It's been like this for about a month now, and the door has been working fine. So if you've been having trouble with your door, give that a try. See if that'll work. And it may be that your door will be easy to open and close again. I sure hope so. If this was helpful to you, please give us a thumbs up. That would sure help us out. And subscribe too, because we make lots of videos like this, and we'd love to have you along for the next one. Also, once you've subscribed, click the little bell down there and you'll be notified anytime we put up a new video. That's it. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.